All right, we're rolling. Welcome, Jake Brennan, to the Puzhitsky podcast. How you doing?
Say that name again.
Puzhitsky.
That was hot.
That was hot?
I like it, yeah.
I like
hot.
Brennan. Brennan's,
it's an
nice.
Irish last name.
Yeah, it sounds, you're Irish?
My dad is part Irish, I think, but most of my family's Italian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Also, Jamie, can we get the AC off? Please, thank you.
What did you call me?
Jamie.
Why?
Because there's the most famous podcast producer in the world happens to be named Jamie. So, all right, we got the eyebrow podcast is over. We're done.
Yeah,
Thanks for visiting.
Nice. Thank you.
All right, welcome. How you doing?
Great, man. Feel good. Happy to be here. Thank you.
A little intro about yourself to the guests. I never like to do it too much. I let the guests take care of that for me.
Fair enough. Yeah, just a nice little humble brag to get the pod going.
Yeah. Let the people know what they need to know.
I've done a few things, all right? Google me. But
Google the name.
yeah, so back in the day, about 40 pounds ago, I was balls deep into basketball.
Okay.
That was my big thing. I really believed that I was going to be a white man who made the NBA. Couldn't shoot, though, so that was a bit of a problem. I was just like a Dennis Rodman, rebound, throw a couple elbows.
Just a big body on the court.
Just a unit, yeah. Just a bully. And and then I got into acting after that. Couple big commercials. We'll cut them in now. Thanks, Jamie.
All right.
Did a couple movies, couple TV shows, and then got into stand-up comedy because I was always afraid, like a lot of people, to do it. Mm-hmm. So you try to do everything but comedy, and then eventually you're like, yeah, I have to do this. And then you realize also that doesn't even matter. And it's all about making social media, content and doing that. And that's really where the, juice is nowadays.
Yeah.
There's my intro. Rock
there we go. There's your intro. When did the mullet come into the equation? When did you figure out that's
okay? The mullet. Well, because I always think this, like, you gotta have a kind of a look, right? And like, I don't know, I'm just like a white guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like there's only so many moves you have in the tank. You know?
Earlier today, when my girlfriend was asking me who's coming over, I'm like, it's basically Bert Kreischer, but Canadian. Not famous and a little more broke.
Thank you. That's really hyped me up. I like it.
Soon to be though.
Great wingman. I've had people say that I remind them of Danny McBride too a little bit. Kenny Powers. You ever see that show?
No.
Dude, it's hilarious. It's great.
He
plays like a baseball player who's a drunk.
The name rings a bell. But yeah, I like the you're like basically if like Theo Vaughn and Kreischer had a love child. That's the vibes I'm getting.
I love Theo. Theo's a beauty.
He's hilarious.
He's the man. Yeah.
Yeah. He just had an interview with this
the black rapper girl.
Yes.
So
and
funny.
bro, the way he can just snap, he was literally became black on the spot. The way he was talking, I was just like at the gym, just like I couldn't get through a set because I was just dying.
There's
laughing.
two black dudes chatting here. But on the pod. But the craziest one I've ever seen somebody do that, but it's like so obviously bad, was if you ever watch like Tarantino interviews from the 90s and like early 2000s. I think it's called code switching. He code switches so hard, it's nuts.
Sorry, doing some producing over there. We're good.
All right, we're good. Yeah.
Yeah, we were always good.
But yeah, like Tarantino when he goes full black guy mode, there's nothing funnier.
He does that,
dude. He still does it. Like
he
does like up to like a couple of years ago, he was still doing it. It's wild.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I feel like very few white guys can pull it off. A lot try, but very few succeed. You know what I mean?
It's just like a white guy with dreads. I mean, there's nothing more embarrassing. And
I can totally rock it. I can get the dreads.
Don't do it. Don't. Unless it's a character. If it's a sketch, maybe actually do it.
So
you're playing a bongo.
I would love to do it, but the only excuse I would have to ever pull that off would be like I would have to be in a Caribbean setting, maybe on vacation, at like a resort,
It's so like overdone at this point, though. I feel like every girl does it. Like back in the day, they'd all like do that. You have to do it for a sketch. If it'd be funny in a sketch.
Yeah, there's my excuse. I saw William Nylander. He posted a photo. He got dreads back in the day, and I was like,
you hyped up?
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It could be cool for the gram, But so
young Jamie's giving you looks on the dread. She's not in it.
She's not in it. No, she's got the one eyebrow raised. It's just murder. It's like a dagger to the heart every time I see it.
It's the evil eye. All European women have it. Oh my god. It's the evil eye, dude. It'll end your life.
Fucking from Russia with love.
Oh man, that's terrifying. That's terrifying.
we have a 6'5", 300-pound man on the couch being intimidated by a measly little 120-pound woman.
The Russians are something else, man.
Bro.
That's...
all right. So speaking of your size, do you work out, bud? You hit the gym?
Dude, look at these guns. I only work on arms exclusively. No.
Your leg day is just walking around, carrying around all that mass.
Dude, I'll pull my pants off right now and show my leg. You know how bodybuilders do that? They drop their pants and it's like, dude, what are you doing?
Bro.
That's assault, brother. Like,
Yeah.
don't do that. But no, I squat, man. I squat 4 plates if I want.
Yeah, if you want.
No, but it's just all
Occasionally.
diet. Like, I do enjoy exercising, playing sports, whatever, all
Yeah.
that bro-y shit. But my diet, trash.
Yeah.
It's just a diet and cardio. Like,
Yeah.
I think you're a bit younger than me. When I was your age, kid, I used to eat like that and be fine.
Yeah.
Since COVID, I had so many bad habits.
Yeah.
And then I just like haven't changed them.
Yeah.
So that's an issue. That's on me though. No excuses. But
I'm with you there, man. I work out regularly, but like, and I do cardio and I do all the good stuff. And I try to watch the diet, but sometimes it just, like yesterday, I came home, I ate well all day. And then just like there was a bag of smart food on the fucking table, like the family size one, and just gone.
yeah,
Just
it's
like
an
that.
issue. It's the late night eating, especially like you
Yeah.
know you're doing shows or whatever. You're coming
Yeah.
home and then
Yeah.
stop
That's
at a
literally what it was.
drive-through, get
Yeah.
candy, and before you know it, you're like, I just ate
I-
18,000 calories
I was happy to be alive after yesterday's show. So I was telling you a little bit before. So
in the ghetto.
yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I did a sold out theater, no big deal. And then
Sick.
a couple of days later, yesterday, I'm fucking performing at this beautiful place called Ice Queen in front of 5 crackheads and a few definitely, probably, for sure, gang members. So
That's the game, man.
it's like, bro, it was,
The highs and lows right
yeah,
there.
sold out theater, easiest,
Yeah.
smoothest set of my life.
Yeah.
Try doing 10 minutes and worrying that if you bomb, you're literally gonna get stabbed. That's where you build your nerve,
100%,
man.
dude. Especially like comedy, I feel like the higher levels you get, it's just easier, man. Like if you do good shows,
Yeah.
like Levity has a great room on like Wednesdays or weekend stuff.
Absolutely.
Like if you do a great show and you bomb, like you're a loser.
Yeah,
Like it's even if you're not that good, the
Yeah.
crowd just wants to be there and they're drunk and having fun. Like anyone will do fine. Do these shows where people are just like not paying attention on their phone. Like that's how you get good.
That's-
because
it
to get
is,
funny
yeah.
or get like a laugh, you actually have to do
Yeah.
something like special.
yeah.
You know.
No, absolutely. So how'd you get into comedy? A little bit more detail about
Okay.
that.
Stand up wise, when I was in university, I
Where'd you go?
Brock, Sir Isaac Brock University, the Harvard of Canada. Shout out Brock.
You know what they say: if you can walk.
How dare you? No, it's the easiest school in the world to get into. They will not turn down anyone. But I did graduate. And no, but so it's actually kind of a cool origin story. So
right.
again, always kind of loved comedy. I was super into it. Like Dane Cook in my day, I was like, he was the coolest, funniest guy ever.
Yeah.
Loved Employee of the Month. The special he did in the round, Isolated Incident, like all the different, he's the man. So wanted to do it, and then the first night I did it was at like a little cafe that had an open mic, and I got put on last. I did it, went pretty well. This is maybe 2016 range. And then we actually went to Marineland. I was so like amped up on energy. So
Yeah.
we went to Marineland at like midnight, hammered, hopped a tence, and then we're trying to find these dolphins.
Was it like a Free Willy situation?
Dude,
like
literally.
fucking go.
Yeah. My buddy, it's actually like it's a big place in Niagara Falls, so it's kind of hard to find the dolphins. And we're hammered, so we found the dolphins, and I went right to where the trainer gives them food, and I was just like patting a dolphin.
Oh my
And that was the
God.
first time I did stand up that night. I was like, "This is the coolest shit ever." You know?
This is the best night. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
And then security came with lights, and we hopped another fence, and our boy was kind of like, a pussy.
Yeah.
And he was waiting in the car, so we just hopped a fence in the car out of there. And I was like, this is awesome.
Did you leave your boy behind?
No, he drove us, but I'm just saying he didn't want to come in with us. He's like, I'll be the getaway driver, which is
Okay.
you do need a good getaway
That's true,
driver.
that's true.
But I also was like him kind of like being like
Yeah.
kind of a pussy.
Yeah. He was just not. Maybe he was an athletic. He didn't want to.
No,
hop
he was
any
black,
fences.
dude. He was a super athlete.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a running
But-
back. Yeah.
The fences, man. That's
No, the fences will get you.
Yeah.
But I think it was more of a water issue. He was afraid to drown because he couldn't. No, I'm like, I think that
There
was
we
more.
go. Mute button. Mute button.
No, he couldn't. He's talked about it. My friend Dave, he doesn't swim. But,
doesn't swim.
I'm not making generalization. I'm saying
Yeah,
this
just
specific
this
guy
individual.
I'm friends with, yeah. None of
No,
them
it's,
none of
it's
them
not
swim.
because of anything specifically. It's just this guy
Yeah.
specifically.
Specific
I'm
example.
just imagining 5 guys jumping over a fence, just going like, that dolphin looks sad, just carrying a dolphin
Dude,
out, fucking
okay.
throwing it into like Lake Ontario, just fucking chuck it off Niagara Falls.
We just watch him dive headfirst off Niagara Falls. No, but here's the thing about dolphins. They're way bigger than you think.
They're
They're
huge.
dinosaur size. They're
I've
massive.
seen one in person.
They're
I've been-
huge.
I've
Did
got
you touch it or no?
I've touched a dolphin.
Sick.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's extra.
It's
like
a cool feeling.
It's like $5 per song.
For the happy ending. But no, so that was the first night I did stand up. It was great.
And then after touching the dolphin, I saw this documentary that made me regret it because it's
The
like
Blackfish
really,
one?
yeah, it's so sad. But
Yeah, it's horrible.
anyways, back to the good vibes. Yes, you were saying.
So I touched the dolphin, did stand up. I did it for about a year, and then I was still doing like commercials and all that type of stuff at the time and making like a lot of money for like a college kid.
Yeah.
And I just was like, I don't want to go to open mics. I just want to like party and have a good time.
Yeah.
So I stopped doing it, and then I did a movie. And that was sick.
Which movie?
It's called The Primrose.
Okay.
That's where I met my good friend Mark Gagnon.
All right.
He's Andrew Schultz's opener. He was just here.
Yeah.
Didn't let me open a show at Comedy Bar. Pissed. Anyways, no, I'm kidding. I'm half joking.
Oh, he did a show at Comedy Bar when he was here? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, so we did this movie in Boston.
Is he a good comedian?
Yeah,
I've never seen his stuff.
He's funny.
Okay.
He's a great comic. Yeah, he's
I don't
really
know if
funny.
does he have like specials out or anything?
He does. He has like 2 clips.
Okay, all right.
He has like no stand up, but he is really good. He's funny.
That's fair. He's
been doing it like 10 years. He started when he was like 14.
Yeah. He's working up. He's like building his.
When
his
he does
act
drop
together.
something, it's gonna be nuts.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, he's
the way
legit.
to do it, man. That's the way to do it. So yeah, you did a movie.
So I did this movie in Boston called The Primrose. My character's name was Billy Stoker. I was a washed-up quarterback.
All right, sick.
It's kind of like an old school type movie vibe, like the movie Old School.
Yeah.
So we did that, and I was like, dude, it was so funny because first movie I did, I was pretty funny and like got to kind of just improv and like have fun. I was like a Stifler type character in it, right? So, and then I went back to Brantford and like I was working this day job for Vortman Cookies where I was delivering cookies. I've never been more depressed in my life.
Yeah.
I was driving around delivering cookies and just dealing with like weird foreign people yelling at me. I was just eating boxes of cookies every day.
That's good.
And I wanted to drive my car off a cliff. And my only hope was this movie, right? I was like, dude, this movie's going to change my life.
It has to blow up, man.
Yeah. And then we had this premiere in Boston like 4 or 5 months later, I think in like November. And I was like, oh, here we go, man. Like, this is my moment, This is my moment in life, I showed up. The movie was pretty funny. People liked it. I got a big, like, all the boys were clapping me. I was like, dude, this is sick. Went to an after party. Met this chick, right? Went back to her house.
I know. I get it.
She was really into, like, tying me up. She tied me up to the bed frame. And, like,
We're going from what movie you were into, like...
I'll bring it back around.
Yeah, okay.
But she ties me up. It was like her thing. She was wearing like a maid's outfit, and like this is her.
Nice.
This is her thing.
She's using ropes or handcuffs.
Well,
or what are we talking
it was
about?
a handcuff, but I just thought it was funny because I was like this. Like I'm not really my thing. I wasn't really turned on by it. But I was just like this, and I was like, I'm a bigger guy. I was like, I could easily just rip this off. So it's like I'm just.
Did you have an IKEA bed? Not very sturdy.
It was some chicken boss. I have no idea her name.
Okay.
And literally, shout out random girl in Boston. Probably is the mother of my child now.
Yeah.
But literally, I didn't rip it off because I was
said it wrong. It's Boston.
Yeah. But I have a baby Gronko there. That's my kid. But no, I just kind of, for her, I pretended like, oh, I can't get out of here. like,
there we go. You're using your acting skills.
Yeah, I'm
That's
a very
what it's
giving
all
lover.
about.
Very giving lover. Anyways, then the movie went on to do nothing, and I kept working that job, and then I eventually quit and did other stuff. But yeah, that was one of the first big moments in my life where you're like, it's going to happen. Everything's going to change now. I'm going to make it. And then just nothing happens. And you're like, oh yeah, I just have to keep doing other stuff.
Yeah, it's fair. And then you keep doing it. It's weird. Like I was just talking to the fucking, doubleheader today, by the way. I did a podcast with Brad Goss in the morning. And then, so I was talking to him about how like comics, like when I'm at open mics, they keep asking me like, oh, like you're doing well on the social media. Like, what do? Do you see me? And then I like look through their stuff. They have like 2 reels posted. I'm like, I mean... just do it. Like, why are you asking me? Like, you have an idea, post it. Film it, post it. If it doesn't work, whatever. Nobody will see it anyways. Keep going. Like,
how many...
Throw shit at the wall.
2 questions for you.
Sure.
One, do you feel like it's almost similar with, like, open mics or mic time? Like, these people don't do enough. They're like, oh, why aren't I good at comedy? It's like, you have to be an open mic or almost with social media.
100%.
Right?
100%.
And then the second question, how many videos in before you start getting some momentum and some traction?
So...
if you say the first video, I'm walking out.
No. So actually, if you look at how many followers I have versus how many videos I've posted, I have a pretty, like, I'm getting success pretty early compared to most people, because like you see, like even guys like Matt Rife blew up, but look at how many videos he has. Like he's in the thousands. I'm at like just over 200 videos posted. Okay. So I'm like I got lucky to be where I am. Absolutely. And that's not a factor of like, I just, I planned it out. No, I just got lucky.
Yeah.
But I was still just posting. My first videos, man, they got like, 20 views, 200 views, whatever. And then people would be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like you're in university, you're getting a degree. I'm like, I don't know. I'm just fucking around. I think it's funny, right?
Having fun.
And then you just keep doing it. And then one pops off and then another one does. And then you get some ideas. And it's absolutely like, going to open mics and developing your act, it's you get better at it So when I write, it's actually my brain is like separated in two. Like I have a premise, and I'm like, okay, is this better as a bit or a skit?
100%,
right?
yeah, 100%.
And some can be both. Some cater more towards one or the other, you know. And you just work around that. And honestly, like the hashtags, the fucking when you post, how much, that doesn't matter. If the idea is good, it will do well. If it's not, it won't. Right?
Yeah.
It's not the algorithm, it's the people. If it's funny, it will do well. That's the beauty about today. You don't have to suck anybody's dick to like
that's it's still early, don't put it past anyone,
like,
you know.
I feel like you've gone too far at this point. You're like, fuck, man.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, if there's a female Epstein, I'm taking it. Like I'm doing it. Or Weinstein, whatever, I'm doing it.
I always say this, man.
And I'm sure they're out there. I want to find them.
It's like the gender equality thing. It's like males versus females. If I had a daughter and I found out she was an actress and I found out I would buy a gun, you know.
You have to, yeah.
If it was
but
a
what
dude,
if she became Margot Robbie though? Like, what do you do? Like,
well, okay. Here's the other side of it.
It's tough
If it was a
balance.
dude, if I had a guy who was like fucking 20 years old trying to make it as an actress, and he's like,
As
yeah,
an
Dad,
actress?
yeah, exactly, as a fucking actress, because he comes to me and he says, you know, like, Dad, I had this audition. It was a big movie, but like the producer, she wanted some sexual favor. I was like, okay, did you get the part?
Sick, yeah. Yeah.
And if he said no, I would disown him right there and then, because it's like the dichotomy. Like,
It's very different.
It's weird.
I got some good agent stories. Are those scumbags? No, I'm sure some of them are nice, but I haven't met them yet.
Do you have an agent?
I went through a couple of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting, dude. The first one.
I have a meeting next week.
Tell me with who off this thing, but we'll talk about it after.
Yeah.
But no, the first agent I had, I really had no footage. I had like nothing. It was just pure. Just I tracked down people off like the actress site and emailed them, and just kind of like cold emailing. Got a couple meetings, and I went to one. I prepared this monologue. And I did a monologue, and then I got this guy, and he was actually good. He got me a lot of commercials. He was actually sick. And then at some point, long story short, he essentially tried to steal money from me. He was stealing like all of his clients' Actra's like residual checks. And then he got arrested and like went to jail for this. But Actra, shout out Actra, the union, they got my money back, and it took like 2 years, but I did get all my residuals.
Nice.
And that guy is a total scumbag. So that was my first agent.
Bro.
So you're like, oh, sick. Like,
It's insane, and it's happening like at the highest level now too. You see
big
Theo
time.
Vaughn, the thing that's happening with the whole podcast network. Oh my god, dude,
that's crazy, dude.
At that level, these guys are little like outside of podcasting is their main source of income, obviously, and it supplements their.
Theo's make like $1 million a night. If you do the math, when he did like 10 shows in Toronto and Niagara.
Yeah,
and they're all like 4,000 or 5,000 seaters.
Yeah,
10 of those.
Yeah. It's insane. So they're making a lot of money, and even at that level, you think these guys have access to the like. Who wouldn't want to stick their hand in that honey pot, right? And they still get fucked over, right?
Yeah.
It's these.
You can't avoid it, man.
I don't know, man. Kanye West.
I still listen to him. Do you? I still blast him from time to time.
Yeah, it's the thing about
Usually
separating the art. College dropout. That's where I stop. All right.
I really loved, actually, on the way down here, I was listening to the Life of Pablo album.
Yeah.
There's some bangers on that album. It's a very underrated album.
But, at that point in his life, he might have been in a different spot, I don't know.
Well,
separate the art from the artist,
To a degree, yeah, to a degree.
Michael Jackson, you a big MJ guy?
I don't believe he diddled anyone. I fully don't.
I don't know who
I could
had...
be wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying my personal belief is I don't think he did those
Somebody
things.
has a bit. It's either a Toronto guy or like, but he has a bit about like, if you were diddled by anyone, come on.
It's Andrew Schultz. Andrew Schultz has a bit. Yeah, about how him and Macaulay Culkin and his ass and stuff. It's a Schultz bit.
It's a Schultz bit?
Yes.
He's like, if you were diddled by anyone, Michael Jackson? Come on, man. It's an honor. It's an honor.
Yeah. And somehow he connects that to the Michael Jordan flu game or whatever. It's really funny. It's a Schultz bit.
It's in the back of my head. I'm like, I know it's not, I didn't come up with this idea. I don't know if I saw it at some open mic or some...
Well, and that's a problem, dude. Again, we could talk about this forever, but it's like I try, like when I'm at shows, I actively block out everybody talking.
Yeah.
Like it's just like the Charlie Peanut guy. Like I try not to listen.
Yeah. Is there such a thing as an original joke? Like, because like the premises, they've all been squeezed to the max.
I think it's how you take it, how you do it. But it's like, I don't even want to like that. Like I try not to watch comedy because of that. Because I know I'm going to unintentionally steal. Yeah. Like even an old Patrice O'Neill thing or whatever. Like, I feel I can just like, I'm like, I can't watch it. Like I'm going to...
I always see when, like, especially when I'm at open mics that are like popular open mics where you see a lot of newer comics coming up. I can tell when a guy comes up who their favorite comedian is because it's just
everyone's imitating them,
and that's fine. You have to go through that. But I'm sure you and I, it's not like we're seasoned vets or anything. No. We still, right? Like that's what it's all about. It's about like honing your voice and being as much as you can as as you can. That's harder. Yeah, just be you. Just, whatever. Like when you're chilling with your friends. But
people can barely do that in real life, let alone on stage.
I know,
right?
and it's fucked up. And in this world that we're living in, this like presentative, like everything's about like clout and social media and like what you present as. It's fucking people try to like make such fucking peacocking. They spread their tails.
But that's why
and
I think
like,
I think again, not to steal another Schultz thing, but I think he's talked about this. It's just like that's why authenticity is so big, and I think the people at the top, even if you don't like them or you're against their whatever views and stuff, are usually authentic people.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that matters.
Yeah. Can I get a refill? Thank you. Young Jamie coming through.
Huge. I gotta catch up to you, man.
Yeah. This is a small one. And that one's 7%. This one's like 5. Oh no, this is 7 too. Yeah.
It's going down nice. I needed it.
Yeah.
I needed that. Thank you for that.
Yes, it gets you right in the pocket for driving.
Feeling great. I'm still going.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you call me Jimmy one more time, I'm gonna put sync there.
Okay.
no.
Well, here we go,
Terrifying,
guys.
terrifying.
I'm gonna have nightmares. It's Halloween. It's spooky season. Anyway, so you a Toronto sports fan?
To a degree, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking a little before we went on.
Yeah.
The fact that the Raptors won a title, I'll be happy the rest of my life. But like I rock a Jays jersey. I'm somewhat of a Jays guy, and they're a joke right now.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we doing?
Yeah, I'm not a baseball guy at all. I'll literally, that's insane. Like, what was it, 160 game season? Something like that?
Nobody's watched a full baseball game in their life. There's not a person alive who's watched a full game.
Yeah.
Even if you go to a game, you watch 3 innings, you buy a $17 hot dog, you do key bumps in the bathroom, and you take $18 tequila shots. That's how a baseball game plays out, okay?
Yeah, literally,
Speaking
it's what it
purely
is.
from experience.
Yeah.
But no, that's literally what you do. Nobody sits down and watches a 9-inning, 14-hour baseball game and goes, I'm enjoying this.
Yes.
It's not real.
Yeah, it's
None of that's
America's
real.
favorite pastime for a reason.
Well, and also, I think, and again, I heard this, some clip or whatever, and it's so true. Baseball is so behind the 8 ball of every sport because when social media started coming out, I think it was their, whoever their, the president of, MLB is, he refused to allow people to, clip stuff up for social media.
Yeah, okay.
So, NBA blew up, I'm not saying they needed help, but NBA, Hoop Mixtape or these different channels, Bleacher Report, these different things that use, clips and, Hoop Mixtape type stuff. That grew the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everyone watches basketball or football on clips a lot of times, right? Nobody's watching a full game. Baseball didn't do that, and now I think that put them 5-10 years behind other sports, and they don't have a young demographic at all.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's part of it.
Yeah,
but
and
also being too long and being a million games. But
yeah, and you watch sports I feel like, growing up in Ontario, growing up in Canada, we're hockey fans kind of by default. Yeah. And I'm surprised it isn't a more popular sport on the world stage as it.
Yeah, nobody cares. Yeah, nobody cares.
Because
Just
it's fast paced, and I guess there is something to be said about the accessibility. Because soccer, anybody can buy a ball and just kick it around.
Hockey,
right?
A lot of equipment, a lot of BS.
Yeah. Same thing with kind of sports like golf and stuff like that, right? There's a barrier to entry, but
again, golf is just like I talked about baseball. Nobody likes golf. Not one person likes it.
I DM'd you about this.
Okay, we have to fight about okay.
I am I am a big golfer. I'm I love golf. I love watching it. I love playing it. I absolutely do.
What you love is hanging out with the boys on the course, drinking, hanging out, having fun. And everybody loves it. That's fun.
No.
You don't like the actual game of golf. It's the most frustrating, piss off game you've ever created. And Robin Williams has a great bit about it.
Dude, I know there's a great bit about it. If you were to pitch it in 2023, fucking nobody would play it. But so I played competitive golf for most of my life, right? I was on the varsity team at U of T. I turned down some D2 scholarships because they were fucking big deal, right? But and now I still play Golf Ontario, Golf Canada events.
So you're good. You're actually pretty good at it.
I'm good. I was at the best I ever was probably my senior year of high school. I was I don't want to say I was scratch, but I was a 1-2 handicap. So I was pretty close to scratch. I was pretty good, low 70s. And I'm still solid. I'm a 5 handicap right now, and I still play with the boys, and I still practice when I can because it's fucking annoying. I hate I
don't know if I believe that.
I do practice.
All
I
right.
do. We have
it confirmed off
we have
camera.
a nod.
Okay.
On the driving range, no beers, just AirPods in, podcast on, just pounding balls on the range.
Getting the reps in.
Everybody in high school, man, I was in this. So it's funny. My friend group from high school. In high school, I watched UFC and I played golf.
Sick.
Okay,
the boys.
And none of them. They were all fucking hockey, football, basketball. Yeah. Now my friends are huge into UFC, and they're getting absolutely addicted to golf. It's hilarious. They're all if I pull up the group chat with the boys, it's all of them just adding me like, Matt, is my grip okay for my driver? Like, is there a difference between if I hit my driver and my irons, like how close I stand to the ball? They're just addicted to it, and I love it.
I'm not saying this for you, because obviously it sounds like you have a passion for it, you put the work in, you really enjoy the game. So God bless you, I met the first guy who's into golf.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is all those guys, and again, they're your friends, I'm making an assumption, I don't know them. I would assume that there's a convergent point on a graph of when men give up on life and become into golf.
Yeah.
Like, there's a point where their hopes and dreams are like, I have a girlfriend I don't even like.
Yeah.
I hate my job, and all I'm going to do is play golf. And that's right when their hopes and the dreams start going down, and they go, golf is cool, and they start liking it, and it's right here.
Yeah.
And you're the one helping them to get to that point where they're more into golf.
That I 100% see that in my friends. Clip it. That's going on Instagram right there. That's 100%. Shout out Daniel Egan. He is absolutely in that bucket.
Daniel Egan, it's over for you.
It's over. Up. It's done. Right. It's done. It's done. That's exactly where he is. He texted me this morning. He last year. I remember, so he's in law school at Queens. Last year, I went to his place, Kingston, some nice golf courses in October, and we played.
Were you there for homecoming?
No,
okay.
I wasn't. I've been there for like Frosh or something.
It's a wild party place.
I know it is a wild party place, but we're past that, man. We're
yeah. I would never go party with hot college girls. I hate that.
Yeah,
that sounds like a horrible time. You're getting the evil eye now. Yeah, he hates it too.
That's the thing about college girls. I get older, they stay the same age.
Shout out McConaughey.
Yeah. No, but so we went there last year. We played 18 holes. After 9 holes, he was like, "Yeah, can we go home? Like, I'm kind of over this." So
he's the guy I'm talking about. Where it's just like
So he was at that point. Yeah. This year though, something clicked this summer where he's just like,
it's called depression.
Yeah, second, like his final year of law school. Yeah. He this morning he texted me. He's like, I've decided that I'm going to become a scratch golfer, whatever it takes.
Oh, dude.
He's like, I'm in it. Like, yeah, I just this past weekend I went back there. 1 year later, he's like, we just played 18 holes. He's like, you want to play another 18? Like, I'm down.
Now, is he like massively improved, or is he just delusional? Could he possibly achieve this?
So I was telling him that
what's his skill level like?
He is not the best. He is not going to be a scratch golfer in 5 years. Eventually, if you put your mind to it, I feel like anybody. It's not as hard. It's not as easy as it looks, but it's not the hardest thing in the world. If you put your...
What do you think? Everyone says that, and I always think with this, when they go, it's not the hardest thing in the world. what is then?
What is then?
People be like, oh, it's not rocket science, it's not brain surgery. It's like, okay, but what is the hardest thing in the world then?
What's the hardest thing in the world?
I'm going to say giving birth. Shout out all my queens.
This guy's just trying to get laid via my podcast.
I love my female fans, dude.
Sorry, I have no single girlfriend.
Oh, no.
I'm just like, I think the hardest thing in the world is
my
maybe... my wiener when a woman gets a job.
Oh, my wiener
when the pay gap decreases is the hardest thing in the world.
My wiener when a girl says, "Hey, any plans today? What are you up to?" Don't ask me.
No, I don't know. The hardest thing in the world. I thought you were talking sports wise. In general,
in general, yeah.
Fuck, man. I don't know. The world's a pretty depressing place.
It's horrible. It's a nightmare. It's a hellscape.
It's a nightmare.
I laugh about it to hide my tears. Yeah.
That's what we do as comedians. I feel like people think we're philosophers. There's a lot of fucked up things, and that's why the jokes about like the touchy subjects I feel like we need. I don't know. I don't like the way that.
I don't like the two extremes of either side. Like the super, I'll say, wokey people. They suck and they're doing comedy for the wrong reasons.
Super right-wing
but the people are just like, oh, you have to like just say the most horrible thing. It's like, well, it's not even funny. You're just being mean. Like that's not funny either.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Just be funny. Just do the funny thing. Obviously, there's some jokes that are touchy, whatever.
Exactly.
Do it. Be funny.
Yeah.
Life is miserable for most people.
The rule is it has to be more funny than it is edgy. Okay.
100%.
And how are you supposed to find out? Like Shane Gillis, did you watch his new special?
Yeah, loved it. Yeah.
Amazing. He talks about Down syndrome 90% of the special.
Yeah,
it's hilarious.
Yeah.
How do you think he came up? Gay.
That's every punchline. Yeah.
Retarded. Gay. How do you think he came up with those jokes? The way that he phrases those things. Like every word has its place, and he did that by fucking going out probably eating shit a bunch of
Dude, that
times.
bit he has about his uncle sneaking grilled cheese sandwiches.
Grilled cheese. Oh my god,
that hilarious bit. But you know that bombed probably like 20 times.
Yes,
like,
before he figured out how to say it properly.
Yeah, and he figured out the voice, he figured out the mannerism, he figured out how to like kind of treat his uncle with respect and still in a funny way and not just like make fun and be mean. Like he figured out how to navigate that like mind,
Yeah.
That whole thing there.
No, we need a place for that. And it's fine. Like I said, like I just like to be reasonable, right? And I don't like either side. So
yeah,
fucking
whatever. I think it's so strange to me. Like I was talking to somebody about this the other day, just like, and I don't look at stuff this way at all, but like there's people who just like got into stand-up comedy just to like argue for their side. And it's just like, what are you doing here?
Yeah, it's fine.
Go on Twitter and make a blog.
Yeah. Tweet into the abyss.
Yeah, but again, those people, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole, but they get booked.
So I think the hardest thing in the world is comedy, and I'm a victim. Yeah. I have it very hard.
Did you see that meme where they're like, "Oh, I'm a truth teller"? It's like I have no chin.
No,
it's so. I mean, Jamie, pull it up. No, but no, I'll show you. We'll clip it in. But it's such a funny meme.
Yeah. But yeah, so speaking of which, to finish that story, Daniel Egan, I don't think you're going to be a scratch golfer within 5 years. However, I do have a friend. He's also named Daniel. His last name is Tudor. He is the most impressive case study I have ever seen. He is a very athletic guy. He was a volleyball team at U of T. He picked up golf during COVID, like 2020, 2019. So he's been playing it for like 2-3 years. He is literally a 5 handicap right now. Like, no joke. I play with him. He breaks 80 consistently. Wow. Playing golf for... First time he picked up a golf club was 2 years ago. It is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. Guy. Just like
good hand-eye. He probably is good at shooting guns and driving too. That type of hand-eye.
He's just a man's man.
Did you ever see the video of what's that F1 racer guy? Derek Hamilton, Lewis Hamilton. Sorry.
Yeah. That guy's weird, man.
He's a weird guy, but he did get to bang Rihanna, so I'll always respect him. But there's a video of him the first time he ever shot a gun at a range, only bullseyes.
Really?
Yeah, he went to that place in California where like John Wick trains and shit.
Oh shit!
And it was not because
the hand-eye. Yeah.
Wherever that place is, Joe Rogan's been there a bunch too. But like he was just great because the hand-eye coordination was so good.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, he's obviously an athlete. I don't know. That's the thing. Like I feel like golf is similar to F1 in the way that like it's a sport.
You have to be rich.
Yeah, you have to be rich. It's a sport, and like I'm sure it's harder than it looks. You're like, bro, it's just driving a car.
There's two for me personally. Like
every time I golf, I'm fucking driving a car.
You're doing both.
Exactly. I'm doing F1,
for both,
bro.
yeah.
I'm trying to be fast.
I wonder how many golf carts Jackass destroyed by them putting that in the movie, and how many guys are like, I have to do that now. And just the blowhorn, just like Jackass just ruined golf carts for 20 years, destroyed them. Yeah. But no, golf is there's too many numbers in it. And again, not
too many numbers.
Too many numbers in it. When you were talking the whole I'm under 80, I'm this, that, I totally didn't know where we were. Yeah. And I just zoned out. But because I'm not a good numbers guy, it took me 5 times to pass grade 11 math.
Jesus
And that's
Christ.
a true story.
That's great.
That's on God, great. As the kids say. That's no cap, as the kids say. And I'm a Brock University graduate, okay? Look it up.
No cap. What's the new kids saying? They say serving cunt is the new thing. Yeah.
Excuse me?
Excuse me? That's okay. Serving cunt. Cunt?
Excuse me?
That's
what
they say.
What does that even mean, dude? Does that mean they're getting ass? Or what does that mean?
I am a fan of the YMH podcast. They have this segment where they talk about new terms that the kids say these days. Okay. There's a new term called serving cunt, right? Oh Instead God. Of like, you know what they used to say, like slay queen, you know?
Yeah.
Now, to replace that in a sentence, you can say instead of, damn, look at her, she's slaying, you can say she's serving cunt.
I just saw a great meme that's about, read that, clip it.
What do we want? A cure for Tourette's? When do we want it? Cunt. That is great. I'll clip it in.
That's tremendous. Dude, Tourette's is so sick. You just get away with saying whatever you want.
I know. I was, that's... How do you control the things that you say? Because what if you're... what do you call it? The thing that you
Tourette's
say...
attack or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, a trigger word or something?
Yeah. What if it's like, you know...
Oh, it's usually the N-word. It's usually bad. It's the N-word or it's cunt. It's one of the two.
That's tough,
Which to me, it seems like it's almost like you're just doing a bit. Like if the word was like, you know... cup or something. Great. Why does it have to be the C word and the N word? Like it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, that's.
You know what you should do? Actually, legitimately interview someone with Tourette's. That'd be actually interesting.
That'd be hilarious. Yeah.
It's just me in a mask, just saying the N-word the whole time.
With handcuffs, just like
Oh no, stop! I'm
and a
getting
leather
hard.
mask. Not as hard as when the wage gap closes a little bit.
Oh no.
So, UFC fan? We talked about golf,
huge.
yeah?
The first UFC I ever saw was Chuck Liddell
Yeah,
and
you've
Randy
been
Couture
live.
too. I've been so many
That's
times.
insane. That's UFC what?
It's the best.
Must have
The
been,
last one I went to was John Jones' comeback fight against Cyril Gahn.
that's February. That was February.
March. Yeah, it was
In
sick.
Vegas.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Apparently, I've never been to a UFC event.
It's the
Like I
best.
said, I've been a UFC fan since. So I used to do martial arts. So I was like a GSP fan, like
I met him.
forever. Yeah, I know. I saw your Insta at the airport, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
How was that?
Beauty.
What was your interaction like? Walk me through this. I'm such a huge fanboy.
So again, we can add the picture in here. I'm literally
Yeah.
wearing a Roots of Fight George St. Pierre karate tank top.
Yeah.
Because it was a travel day. All my clothes were dirty.
Just a universal alignment moment.
Yeah.
Just
So I'm sitting at the airport, just kind of waiting in the Austin airport, Austin, Texas. Shout out Longhorns.
Yeah.
And I'm literally on my phone, and then I look up, and I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "That's GSP." I'm like, it took me a second because he has hair now and stuff. And
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, "No
he's
way."
an actor now.
He's
Much like you.
yeah.
Did you give him some advice?
I taught him everything he knows, but but no, and then I'm just kind of like shocked, and he's looking at me, and I just go like this. I go, and he laughed. And I walked over, and we started talking. And again, we can get into this as much or as little as you want, but I was like, dude, I was at the GSP versus Nick Diaz fight in Montreal. His last fight in Montreal. I was
Wow.
there in high school because we always go to March break. We go to Montreal, and that was single handedly possibly the greatest day of my life that day.
Yeah.
Because it was the weigh-in day. We snuck behind the curtain. Right, walked all the way down. Nick Diaz is walking by. I'm like, "Fuck you, Diaz." He gives me a dirty look. I was too far away for him to like choke me out, but I was just a ballsy 17-year-old.
Yeah.
And we walk in. There's no security. There's nobody. Everyone's just hanging out. So
Yeah.
me and my boy are like, we're going in the octagon right now.
People don't realize how back in the day UFC was just an absolute like wild west. Like they did, like the first UFC,
Yeah.
they didn't have rules. You can do whatever you want. You can
Yeah.
eye gouge, ball punch, whatever. You can like
Did you see that guy head kick that
no.
fat black guy?
I think that was the one rule. The one rule was no eye gouging and no like throat punching, something like that.
It changed the world because back in the day, people would watch like kung fu and like shitty karate
Yeah.
movies and be like, yeah, that works.
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
it's just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
no, it
Krav
doesn't,
Maga.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we snuck in the octagon in Montreal. My buddy and I are like fake fighting, and then Mike Goldberg's like, "Hey boys, take your shoes off." The old commentator Mike Goldberg.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
might be before your time even.
No,
he
I
was
don't
like,
know. Yeah, I do know
okay.
who Mike
He
Goldberg
was like
is, but-
notorious for just like flubbing every line. Like he
Yeah.
screwed up everything.
Yeah.
He was like a lovable idiot.
Yeah.
So he's there. We start talking to him and all this. All these Montreal security guards come out. And they're all like surround the octagon, and we're like, oh shit. Then this guy's like speaking whatever their made up language, and he's like, the other guy's translating, pretty much tells us like, hey, we have to kick you out. Like, don't tell anybody you snuck in here. It makes us look bad or whatever. It's like, dude, I'm gonna tell the story for 10 years. Like, I'm telling everybody the story.
I'm gonna tell it on the Puzhitsky podcast,
Oh,
but you don't
100%.
even understand. There's JRE and then there's Puzhitsky podcast.
And that's just for now, dude. Give it a year.
yeah, give it a year. Give
Rogan
it a year.
who?
Puzhitsky podcast, JRE right there, and
That's
YMH on
tremendous.
top. I don't know, but like,
But then we left the whatever Bell Center, and we went to our first rub and tug. And that's a story for another day. That's a story for the Patreon. And I'm telling GSP this as I
hashtag
meet him.
Patreon, subscribe please.
Yeah. And I'm telling GSP
I actually do have a
this.
Patreon, by the way.
Do you?
Yes.
Is it good or no?
I just launched it. The link is in my bio for all the real
Nice.
ones listening right now. I have not. It's a soft launch. I have not actually announced it. So if you want to see, I have a few things posted, but
Sick.
it's coming up.
But yeah, GSP was cool when I met him. We talked for a little bit, and
Took a
I
pic.
got
Dude.
laughing and stuff. Dude, what was weird though is
You're not the only person I know that's met him. I have a buddy that met him at like a Toronto nightclub.
I've never met somebody with more of like a
That-
kid energy. He has like a little kid energy.
He serves cunt for sure.
Oh, he gets all the pussy.
Oh
You
my
can tell
god,
the guy gets
he
whatever
likes black chicks.
Does he really?
I absolutely. I know
Respect.
this. I heard him on a podcast, and
George saying culture. Oh, that's hot.
oh my god. No, but George St. Popeyes. No, he
George saying grape drink. Okay, I'm done.
all right. He definitely. So
He's
he was
actually-
talking about it on a podcast. He's really into the.
I like
You
the
know.
black girl. I like
Yeah,
to lick
yeah.
their ass. But no, he's.
Bro, the Quebec accent.
Yeah.
Hello, my friend. How you doing? I'm a big fan
Are you
of the.
intoxicated? No, he's
my
cheap,
my
though,
favorite
dude.
thing is when he was doing interviews like against like fucking his whoever literally he's like my opponent is very good. The way he said opponent, opponent is very good. I respect him a lot.
Yeah, dude, he's the man. He's such the man.
Yeah.
But so where we get on the airplane, I don't go first class because I don't have enough money yet. But I always get the second, like the business or like the bigger seat.
Yeah.
Because I'm huge, so I need the bigger seat.
Big body.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, there's somebody like this next to me. I'm like, dude, imagine GSP sits next to me. Like, I'm gonna talk his ear off the whole flight.
We're just gonna cuddle.
Yeah. He goes back to the poor people seats.
Oh my god.
And he's walking by and I go, George, is Dana not paying you? And he goes, you have no idea. I'm like, wow. Just a man of the people. He's sitting back in the poor people seats.
That's the one thing
wild.
about the UFC. I'm a fan of Dana White because he brought the UFC to us. However, he is
13% revenue, the whole thing. Yeah.
Bro, it's
insane.
It's like when he had his whole issue with like beating his wife in public or whatever. Allegedly.
Sponsor me, Dana.
Bro, I'm like,
we need a Howlerhead sponsorship immediately.
He's like, the UFC would not be able. No, bro, like the UFC would be. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I was torn with that too because it's a great excuse to say the company wouldn't work without me. And maybe at this point they could work without Dana, but it wouldn't be as good. But they needed that guy for 20 years to become what they are.
Absolutely.
100%.
Without Dana, there is no UFC, and respect for that.
Yeah.
What about like modern UFC, like Sean Strickland, buddy?
The champ.
Oh my God, the
People's champ. Deshaun Strickland.
Deshaun Strickland, dude,
so
I
funny.
love him so much.
Yeah,
I was right here on this table watching this MacBook, fucking Izzy versus Sean Strickland. I was like cheering.
I had a show, I missed it.
Dude, it was.
I know.
I was so happy when he won, bro. His interview
He's the man.
There's something about him.
He's literally the people's champ because it's
legit.
everything that corporations or people be like, oh, you can't like that now. That's why everyone like loves him. Just when we talked about authenticity earlier, he's just an authentic,
exactly.
trailer trash guy.
Exactly,
and it's just
authentic,
like it's
completely.
awesome.
Yeah. And Sean O'Malley's the champ now, bro.
Crazy,
Imagine
dude.
Sean Strickland, Sean O'Malley, and fucking Colby Covington, bro. That would be the trio. That would be like the UFC
The
would
bad
be the
guys won. I saw a rumor that they're going to be bringing UFC to Toronto in January and do O'Malley versus Cheeto rematch.
In January?
Yeah.
That would be huge.
Yeah.
I don't know why they did Vancouver for the last year. Whatever. It was
it was Amanda. I wouldn't win. It's Amanda Nunes. So annoying.
Yeah.
I was so happy when she retired, dude. When she does her post-fight speech and she's just screaming and holding a baby, it's like, shut up.
Yeah, Mary Griezmann's.
Get out of here. She's so annoying. She's one of the only, the top.
She's good, though. She's
a great fighter, but I just mean the personality-wise, I can't stand her say a word. Like, I literally, every misogynistic tendency in me comes out as she's speaking. Like, I just go, I don't like her. Like, I can't explain it more than that. If you've watched her give a post-fight speech, you'll agree with me.
I've watched all her post-fight speeches.
Dude, I'm going full champ. Kyle mode, just fist through the wall when she's talking, man. Like,
punching the drywall.
I'm punching myself when I hear her, man.
KO.
It's a nightmare.
All right, yeah. No, but UFC is, I don't know, there's something that's it's the best, yeah.
And it got so much bigger during COVID because everyone was being a pussy. Everyone was doing all this nonsense. And Dana's like, we're doing it.
Yeah.
Fight Island, Apex, we're doing it. Yeah. And I remember, obviously, we're not supposed to get together, whatever. Dude, the UFC parties during COVID were awesome. Because you'd get 30 people together, drinking, playing beer pong, eating pizza. Like, it was awesome. Because that's the only thing you could do.
Yeah.
So UFC was the only events I even remember in those 2-3 years. Because
Dude, that was
actually
insane.
fun.
I have some friends that are absolute gambling addicts, and they were betting on fucking marble races during that period of time.
I think Barstool started getting into that.
Yeah, literally, literally, they would race marbles, and there would be this thing where literally, so they put different vegetables on a treadmill, and you'd pick which vegetable is last to stay.
That seems very, very Korean. I feel like Korean people would be I just feel remember that show they used to do back in the day? Remember that show that they drop a rock and then the Koreans would have to dodge it and stuff?
They were betting on.
They're into weird shit
They were betting on Korean women's basketball. Just imagine how desperate you have to be.
We all know women's sports are only interesting when men play them, so that's really.
Whoa! We said we would install a mute button here at the Puzhitsky podcast.
Mute it, delete it.
Yeah, no, but it was
I'm kidding.
tough.
Women's sports are great.
Yeah.
Women's volleyball is actually fun.
Norwegian reindeer races. Okay, so
is that cool or not?
That's absolutely.
Are
amazing.
reindeer real? Are they just deer?
Yeah, they're just
with a red nose. What?
No, that's fucking Rudolph, buddy. That's a myth.
He's the guy though. He's the LeBron of reindeer. He's the guy.
He's absolutely the guy. But the real reindeer are it's actually.
Is it a different type of deer?
I think it's.
I've never seen one. I don't think.
It's kind of and it's a cool name, Rain Man, reindeer. You make it rain, bro. It's
it is sick.
It is a cool
I used to ride horses when I was a kid.
I would ride horses when I was a kid
loved
too.
it. I actually loved it.
Big equestrian.
More of a Western rider. No, it was great though. It was
You
great.
wouldn't jump. That's gay. I don't
No,
jump the horse. I just fucking ride them,
my
right?
cousin, who's just like, I was about to trash her there, but anyways, she's a great lady. But she's shout out, you know who you are. But she
Shout out, you know. Say her name. Say her name.
I'm good. I don't want to deal with this at Thanksgiving. But she's super liberal, like the most liberal, just crazy person. And she owns like multiple horses, and she's 40 years old and has never had a boyfriend.
Damn.
That's
40
sad.
years old?
She's probably 38, but we'll say 40.
I thought you said 4 years old. I'm like, give her some time.
She's
right?
a billionaire.
But, yeah.
No, chicks who own horses are weird though. It's just rich girls
there's
who...
a stereotype there too, like the horse girls.
Yeah.
I don't think it's, you know.
Here's the thing about stereotypes. They're mostly true. That's why they exist.
Whoa, all right.
General,
Explain.
I'm not saying everywhere. Like, okay, when somebody cuts you off in traffic, right, you have to look who they are. 90% of the time you guess right.
Okay.
I'm not saying, like, right? Like, I'm not saying that everybody you guessed is that thing you guessed.
There's different type of cutoffs, like.
Well, that's a whole other thing, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a whole other angle. That's on the Patreon. We'll do a whole episode on that. We'll do an episode on types of cutoff. But I would say I can't even say the word. Stereotypes are like 70 to 80% accurate.
Yeah.
Not always. A lot.
Listen, the guests I have on these podcasts are free to express their own views. I'm not saying I'm supporting them. I'm kind of like...
There's a reason they exist.
I'm following in the steps of Joe Rogan. I just have whoever I think you're funny, I think you're interesting. I'm happy to give you a platform. The views are not my own. However, you're free to... Listen, dude, you posted a video today how like Canada is like monitoring the Canadian...
Insane.
Dude.
It's nuts. We live in a communist country.
Truly. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know.
It's not weird. We have a dictator, yeah.
I just did the pod with Brad, and I'm doing the pod with you. If I get canceled during any of these two podcasts, I'm going straight to YMH. I'm pleading my case, and I'm going straight to Austin.
You have to replace Nadav, man. That's the move,
bro. Yeah.
Take that fat ginger spot immediately.
I have.
Can you laugh in the background loud?
Yeah.
You're hired. Can you Google things horribly? You're in. Put on 150 pounds and be a miserable.
Christina, there's an opening.
Get him in there.
I'm in.
Get him in there.
I'm in. I don't need a visa. I can put on a hat. I can...
We'll make you enter the country via the Mexican side. No problem.
No problem.
Not a problem.
You know there's a wall? There's actually a wall.
Yeah, but I saw a video, and again, I don't believe what I see on social media, but did you see that video where the guy on the Mexican border is like high-fiving immigrants as they're walking in?
Just like, congrats, you did it, you made it.
It's like, is this a bit, or what are we doing?
Yeah. What are we doing?
I mean, that's a whole, I guess, there's intricacies and a million things to talk about. But that's a wild thing if that's true.
Yeah.
Like, people are sneaking in the country. The guy's like, nice. Like, that's wild, dude. Like,
Great job, bro.
Oh, cool, dude. Good luck, man.
Yeah.
And then one of those people will just become Jeff Bezos, remember him, and give him a job later.
That's sick.
Imagine that's a
amazing.
real immigrant story.
That's what you do. That's why you have to be nice to people. Your
100%.
reputation is everything.
You have to.
So that's all it is.
You never know who the next Jeff Bezos will be.
Yeah. So you've been to Austin, right? A couple times.
Yeah,
there we go. So
their football team scouted
most
me.
recently, you went there for the Austin
Comedy Film Festival. Yeah.
Comedy. There we go. You won an award.
Best actor.
Yeah, no big deal. I saw your thing when I was doing a thing at show at Levity. I saw your name on the wall.
Yeah, that was a really cool moment. Yeah.
So how is Austin? What is it actually like? I've never been. I'm planning on going very soon.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Okay. A lot of good, a lot of weird. It's kind of everything in between. I think their comedy scene is just wildly inflated. Like, obviously, like, you have the connection with your stepmom there, but I don't know. But it's like a lot of people go there, I think, for the wrong reasons. Like, you're talking, I tried to do Kill Tony, obviously, because that's like a huge platform. There's like 1,000 people that sign up there, and you're talking to people online and kind of seeing, where everyone's at.
That's the thing. When I go there, I'm not even. I'll put my name.
Try
in the
to do
bucket.
Kill Tony. That'd be sick.
I will. I'll put my name in the bucket. Shout out Ben Albert. Kill Tony Vet.
Kill Tony, yeah.
Unfortunate that he has two first names, but it's okay.
I actually feel bad because if you watch his set, he did well, and they were just too drunk and didn't appreciate it.
I know.
He actually did well. They were just drunk assholes.
He was close enough to just like slap Joe Rogan on his bald head, bro.
But that was one of those after the Protect Our Parks thing where they were just hammered and not paying attention, and then for whatever reason Tony didn't like him. It was very strange. Yeah. Because I thought he actually was pretty funny.
That's the thing.
It was weird.
Love Kill Tony. Love Austin. Just like the vibe, like Tony Hinchcliffe with his he's in a mood. Yeah, he's in the mood sometimes, and that's going back to kind of like the gatekeeping kind of situation where like if he likes you, you'll be in. And we have guys like Jared Nathan from Toronto.
Shout out.
He got
great.
What is it called? A golden star, golden ticket, whatever.
Golden star, yeah.
Yeah, fucking.
Yeah, and he wears it on his forehead. But no, he got the golden ticket, and yeah, he's great. He's the man.
There we go.
Yeah.
So it can make your career literally, or you can just kill it. Like our boy Ben, and they're all drunk and they don't care. And
I know.
It's this like
my buddy Joe Botello, shout out him, comic from Hamilton, filmmaker, good guy. He got on too, kind of bombed.
Yeah,
he did really good in the question answer.
Joe
Like he was like funny
Botello.
with him. He's like a fat Portuguese guy. There's
another guy from Toronto, like something Martinello, Danny Martinello.
I don't know, possibly though. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, it's cool if you get on, but again, it's kind of like your 1 minute of fame. So, if I do go there, I'm definitely going to stick to.
I prep my minutes so hard, dude. I spent like a whole day in a diner preparing it. I had all my questions. I had all my setups as far as like if they asked me stuff. I was like, hey, what are your interests? I had everything so set up.
Really?
I was so locked in. I was like, dude, I'm gonna crush. Like again, like the moment I talked about the movie, I'm like, I'm gonna change my life here. I was at a diner and there's this black guy sitting like in front of me, some old guy. And this is how nice the Texas people are. People talk about Canadians being nice. Texas is like everyone nods to. Everyone's a fucking beauty, dude. Like on 6th Street, I think they'll rob you, but everywhere else they're super nice.
Yeah,
dude. The guy gets his
which
meal.
is where the comedy mothership is.
It's just a college town of bars, and everyone's like just hammered to nuts. It's like homecoming every day. And at night they shut down the whole thing, so you can't have cars there. It's just like a festival. Everyone's walking around. It is sick. Like when you're young, it's a lot of fun. But this guy's sitting in front of me. He's just like he got his food before. And we were talking the whole time, and he's facing the wrong way, so he's talking. I can barely hear him. I'm trying to work, but I'm like being nice to this guy. He got his food first. He's like, I don't eat before you do. And he like was giving me like catfish and stuff. It was just like the nicest guy ever. He's like, oh, thanks, man. He's like, what are you doing down here? We were talking. He's like the sweetest old guy ever. He was literally Morgan Freeman in real life. But when I was at Kill Tony, dude, I was sitting there for hours, and like everybody there is like just there for the wrong reasons. I feel like
they're just probably like nervous, pacing around.
No, but like, and the setup's horrible, dude. If anyone's done Kill Tony, like, so comedy motherships here, and they have this like Shakespeare's or some whatever generic bar there. We're waiting upstairs. There's like 500 people. They run an open mic there. So I'm trying to focus and just pay attention because I know that they're going to call 6 to 8 people. So I'm just like focused, like just trying to be in my own head. There's people on stage just like screaming for a minute or two.
Oh my God.
It's the most distracting, stressful 3 hours of your life.
Yep, that's tough.
And then obviously, unfortunately, I didn't get called, but it's a weird setup, man. But a lot of those people there, like, I did a couple shows at Creek in the Cave. I did Roscoe's. I did Red Band's room, Sunset Strip. I did all the rooms I wanted to do, really, but it's like a lot of them are just like super late shows where you're just doing it to like other comics. Yeah. And you're doing like a 3-minute spot at 1 a.m. and you're just like, this is like, I get better spots here. So it's obviously, you have it in there. So God bless you, go there, fucking crush it. But if you're just like trying to move there and like, I'm going to make it, it's like, I think you should work on your internet stuff, work on your set, like actually become good. Because even that dude, and I got a picture with him, he works for the mothership, Cam Johnson or whatever, the guy who I like rocks. Mm-hmm. Hilarious. He blew up on Kill Tony. Yeah. Like, that guy's been doing comedy like 8 years and moved there. So it's like, a lot of people I think are going there.
He moved there 8 years ago, or he's been doing comedy?
No, he's been doing comedy in like Florida forever.
Okay,
So it's like a lot of people are just going there and they're like, oh, I'll be famous and do comedy, man. It's like, no, that's not,
Yeah, it's a
Cam
similar...
Patterson, sorry. I said Johnson. Cam Patterson, shout out.
There's a similar... it's a similar vibe to like, what Hollywood used to be and stuff like that. But
100%.
like, what is it? Like, New York, LA, Austin, it's... Every place has its ups, every place has its downs, whatever. I feel like New York is still
dead?
like... I don't say it's dead.
I've never been in New York. I have no interest in going. I'm not a city guy. I don't like it.
Yeah, so it's like... it's the one that kind of stays strong. Like, I feel like LA might not be the place to, again, I don't know. Like, I've just heard stories.
I got to perform at the Comedy Store this year.
Yeah?
Coolest moment ever.
Yeah, that's really
Such a sick, like, dude, that place is definitely haunted. Like, if you ever, like, dude, it's the coolest place. Like, I pulled up. I always like to splurge a little bit, and I have a buddy who works at Hertz Rental Cars, so he always hooks me up. I had a convertible Mustang, right? I was in LA for a couple days. Yeah. Literally pulled up, and, like, in the back is where the comics park, so I pulled up, and I'm like, let's just see if I can pull this off, right? They're like, it's up my Jake Brennan.
Big in Canada. Huge
comic
Big
in Canada.
Following in Indonesia.
So they parked my car, and I walk in, right? Dude, as I'm walking in, Mark Maron's just, like, sitting there smoking. I'm like, hey, Mark. Sick. He's like, hey, where are you? I'm like, hey, cool. So I go in there. I go to the original room, which is like smaller, And I'm sitting there, and there's some like bouncer, some little Chinese guy bouncer comes up to me. He's like, "Oh, this is where the comics sell." I'm like, "Yeah, I am." And I just shoo him off, right? The most disrespectful thing, I just shoot him off. And he put his tail between his legs, left. It's like, what are you doing, man? You're gonna try to alpha me here? You're trying to beef me? Like, get lost, right? So I didn't look at him. I shoot him off. Then I get up. I go to the main room. Arsenio Hall's doing. He's the first time he's done stand up at the Comedy Store in like 30 years. He just shows up unannounced. It's him. Mark Maron went on. It's Brad, whatever, the midget. Annie Lederman, like, it's just a killer lineup, right? I'm just watching, like, this is crazy watching this, right? And they're all walking around. I started talking to Annie Lederman, she tried to wheel me, and I literally go upstairs.
No big deal.
Not a big deal. Like, easily pump her. Truck walk. So I literally walk up to the belly room, and there's another show about to start there. So I'm talking. There's this guy Johnny Mitchell. He was on Schultz's Flagrant Pod, or whatever. And he used to sell drugs and stuff. Tall, skinny white guy, beauty, right? So I'm not right away kind of see each other. Like, hey, we're both like giants. What's up, right? So I start talking to someone. He's like, yeah, I'm doing the show here. I'm like, oh, you think I can get on? And he's like, no chance, man. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, if somebody bails, like, put me on, right? He's like, all right, never gonna get on. So I sit down. I'm hanging out. Ali McCoskey was there. Shout out her. She starts talking to me, whatever. She's Rogan's opener, so it's like, and she's really funny. So I'm just hanging out, and then he comes up to me like half an hour later. He's like, "Yeah, somebody bailed. Do you want to go on?" I'm like,
yes.
Inside, I'm losing it. Right? I'm like, ah. I'm like, I guess, cool guy mode, right?
I'll do it.
So I had to do 10 minutes in the belly room.
20, no problem.
Yeah. So, and it went well. I had a good set, and I was just like, dude, who can say like within a year and a half in comedy, just belly room spot, pro show.
Yeah, no big deal. Pro show, belly room.
Within 6 hours of being in California, I worked out at Gold's Gym Venice. I worked out with Chet Hanks. You know that guy? Tom Hanks' son, who's a rapper and does patois. Yeah. He was there, dude. I was like, hey, big fan of what you're doing. He's totally dead behind the eyes and will eventually probably kill people. He's a psycho. So I got along with him well. And I'm like, hey, so him and I were doing like bench workouts, doing chest together. And I was like, this is nuts, dude. And then I left and went to the Comedy Store. That was within 6 hours of being in LA. I was like, oh, I love it. Like, I need to move here immediately. So I understand it's all homeless people. It's a chaos. It's like a liberal wasteland. Everyone's homeless. Everyone's stealing your taxes. Everyone's going to shank you in the neck. I want to go there because it's awesome. But I also know I'm very skewed because my first 6 hours were like the coolest ever.
That makes sense.
And I went to the Grove. The Grove's unreal. I really like California, but it's kind of
lots of good days for you, man. Comedy, Marineland, LA, Austin, just living the life out here. All right, man. That was solid. If like I said, all the views expressed on this podcast are not my own. They're that of my guest.
He thinks stereotypes are wrong, all right? And he's right about that, all right? I agree with him. I was doing that for comedic effect. Comedic
effect, guys. The world is a fucked up place. We just want to bring some light to it, make some jokes. That's all. We're not philosophers. We're not scientists.
You might be though, right?
I technically am a literal scientist.
I'm a social scientist. I have a social scientist degree.
Yeah, okay, that's cool.
That's huge.
Yeah. That's I'm an actual scientist, so I'm a chemical scientist.
Oh, that's it?
That's it? That's all, bro? Fucking SN2.
Nice.
No, but it was fun talking. Plug whatever you want.
So I have a bunch of sketches coming out in the fall. Check out my YouTube channel, Jake Brennan. That's sketchy. I probably have like 10, 12 sketches I'm editing and dropping. Go to my YouTube. I have some cool stuff coming out. And come out to any shows, stand-up, whatever. Follow me on Instagram, Jake S. Brennan. There's some little bastard, Jake Brennan, he used to play Richie Rich on a Netflix show. Has the name.
Oh,
yeah, no. I have to find him and battle for the name.
Yeah.
But that's my show.
You'll see him on my Instagram page soon enough. We're planning a little sketch there, and you'll see him on some of my shows too in Toronto or wherever we go. So thanks for coming out. That was fun.
Thanks for having me, dude. It was fun.
See you guys. Subscribe, rate me 5 stars. I appreciate it. Spotify, whatever you do. I understand if you don't anymore, if you don't like me, but honestly, it's for the real ones, right? That's what we're...
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
All right, let's do another 20 minutes on Patreon. All right, see you guys. Love you. Bye.